I mean, I don't know how this got started, but all of a sudden flags from all the nations are up in the audience.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, look at that. I mean, can you imagine what that looks like from the stage point of view when you're looking out into a sea of thousands and thousands of people and they have flags waving like this up in the air?
That must make it feel like, you know, beyond providing people with entertainment, which is obviously a huge part of what you do, but it's such a positive, unifying force for people from all different backgrounds, colours, races, religions.
It is. You're right. It is. And I think that the music speaks for itself, and it brings that out of the fans. You know what I mean? They all, like I said earlier, everybody needs that hero in life, no matter what it is. Okay? Everybody has a role to play in their life. They're a parent. They're a student. They're an employee. They work for some guy who's giving them grief. You know? They need this powerful music behind them to say, fuck, this is just a stepping stone to where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of the fans look at it. You know, they say, this is just a fucking stepping stone. Do what you want. Fuck you. I'm moving on.
But Warriors of the World obviously was
Warriors of the World's a huge album.
It's a massive album, and almost in some ways more for you as a singer than for any other member of the band because of Nessun Dorma, because of American Trilogy, you know, and all that stuff, which was, you know, obviously everything Manowar does is a showcase for your voice to some degree because you're the front man, and you know. But was that a challenge you relished? Was it something that you wanted to do, or was it Joey and more of Joey's crazy ideas?
It was Joey's crazy idea. The American Trilogy. The American Trilogy was his crazy idea. He kept saying, you know, it's the anniversary of Elvis's death, and you know, we should do this. No one else is going to do it, and you can do it. And you know, and I at first I thought, Elvis Presley, come on, you know, that's really stretching it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But I love singing. I love it, and so when I heard it, he sent me the music of it. I'm listening to it. I said, that's just going to fucking sound beautiful, you know. And he's right. I could do it, and I don't want to blow my own horn here. But I could do it, you know, and I really love singing, and I love the emotion of it all. When I'm singing that song, you know, we did it in Germany live, you know. It was like, Jesus, it was like a great feeling. I had those tingling things on my arm again, thinking, oh, this was good, this was it, you know.
Yeah.
I love doing it. Nessun Dorma was one that when Joey said, now we're going to do an opera, and he told me the same thing in opera, I'm thinking, what the fuck? What are we doing here? Where are we going with this? And Joey would sit down, we'd have a few drinks, have a few beers, and talk about it, and he would say, you know, again, he said, you can do it. Other people can't do it, but you can do it. You can do a screaming song, and then we'd go right into Nessun Dorma, and they'd shit their pants when you do opera, you know. He said, we got an important gig coming up in Milan, and he says, and we need to do Nessun Dorma there. We need to record it, and we need to do it there. One thing I'll say for Joey, he's got some insight. He can see things that the rest of us, I don't know about the rest of us, but I personally don't see until it gets close to time. And then I say, oh, fuck, this sounds pretty goddamn good now. I wasn't sure how the fans were going to deal with it. But Nessun Dorma, the first time we did it was the night in Milan. And parts of Nessun Dorma had no tempo. It was like a feel thing, you know? And so I had to kind of feel it and come in when the strings changed, you know? And I rehearsed the shit out of that song and finally got it down. So when we started to play it in Milan as one of the encore pieces, the fans went nuts. You know, there was a video of it, the fans went crazy. Phones went up in the air, and, you know, it was like an unbelievable show, and Nessun Dorma sounded great. So I know basically what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I go in there and I may throw a surprise to Joey once in a while, and it's either it or shit. You know right away when you listen to it. Sometimes I'm amazed at Joey's ideas at the last minute too. He'll come up with last minute ideas. Do this, try this. Okay, let's do it, you know,
Yeah.
try this. When we're playing it live, I want my monitors to be blasted back at me to get that feel, that, yeah, you know, like when you do that, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum-bum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum, da-da-da. I mean, it's really a great piece.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we're doing that live, I say, yeah, it's really, it puts you right there. I mean, I'm on the battlefield. I am right there. There's smoke all around me, fire, and I am on that battlefield, and I am the character in the song. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that I couldn't sing certain parts live. And so I purposely would avoid those notes in the beginning of the song. I would sing, and then the chorus would come, and I would sing a harmony to the note that I sang on the album. Harmony to it, it works. And I'm looking at the fans when I'm doing this, and I know there's guys out there. You know the guys in the band, when you look out, you see a guy like, you know, everyone's going crazy. He's there. Like, what are you gonna fucking show me, prick? You know? And so, you know, I purposely wait, and then the last chorus, the last one, wham! I hit that note, and I look at him, I go, right there, you fuck! Right there! You know, if you give it away right away, if you give that note away right away, yeah, it's no big deal by the end of the song. But if a song goes from here and ends up here, you've done something.
Yeah.
You know? And we try to think of that in the studio and live. We did the normal show that we normally do. And we left. I was back in the dressing room, and I was, you know, sitting there with a towel on my face, just trying to get, you know, all the water off of me. I was soaking wet. And we're sitting there, and the crowd was hollering, "Manowar, Manowar," and they were clapping and clapping and clapping. And Joey came in my dressing room, and he said, "What do you think? You want to go back out and do a couple more?" I says, "All right, let's go." You know, we'd already finished the encores, whatever we're supposed to do. So I said, "Okay, let's go." So we went out there. I said, "What are we going to do?" And he would name songs. I said, "Okay." And we'd do it. And then he'd be hollering, "Let's do this." We'd do that. And one thing led to another. We just kept playing and playing, and we left the stage again. And the fans were into it, they were into it. And Joey came and he said, "Fuck it, we're so close now, we can make a record, we can have a world record here. Let's go, we're almost 5 hours, let's go over 5 hours." I said, "Okay, let's do it, let's go, fuck, let's go." And out on that stage, and he's hollering out songs. It was almost like a rehearsal.
Yeah.
He turned around and said, "You guys remember this? You guys remember this one? Let's do it." I get a kick out of people when they say, "Oh, they tuned down because Eric can't reach the notes anymore, so they tuned down to a different key." Well, so did everybody. At the time, everybody was tuning down because it's a heavier fucking sound. I mean, period. Nobody plays in A440 anymore. Nobody. They're always tuned down because it's a deep sound, and that was cool. Let's do it. As a matter of fact, when we tuned down to play some of these songs, it was tough for me to do it because there's a point in every singer's voice where you go from your chest voice, and when you're riding up, you switch into a falsetto type voice, yeah. And when you switch, it has to be a continuous vocal thing, so you don't hear the switch. I lift weights before every show, and I go through, I guess you can call it a ritual. I go through scales. First, just normal scales, changing keys, normal scales, up and down, changing keys. And then I do thirds. I take thirds, and then I do fifths, and then octaves. And when I get to the octaves part, I do some screams up there. So if people are backstage, you know, in the lunchroom or something, you know, and I'm there, and I'm doing I say, "Holy shit, the guy's going nuts."
Yeah.
But I have to do that to warm my voice up, yeah, because I can't go out there very first song and not be able to hit some notes with some power.